What's up, y'all? I have Richard Hart Maximalist here on LitTank. Thank you for coming, brother. Talk to me about PulseX. I have Operation Double the Burn. My background is in branding, marketing, design, and I used to be in a think tank. So I realized the best thing I can do here is just help y'all. Just put all this together. My brain is just predisposed to this. I think like this. I eat this up. I'm passionate about it. So all my videos that came out about PulseChain, like if you watch my vibe, it's like I already was doing that. And now I realize, oh, 2024, I need you. I need the community. I need everyone here. So talk to me, bro. Talk to me about PulseX. I want to double the burn.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, quite an intro. Talk to me about PulseX. Well,
Yeah.
it's the liquidity promise of PulseChain, man. It's the premier index. It is not. We kind of talked about this a little bit before. It's not supposed to be, to me, the shiniest object in the ecosystem right now. I think it's got plenty of time to grow. And honestly, if I were launching a product like that, I would strategically game plan to make sure new features and stuff came out over time when it was the most beneficial and not all at once, like I guess a lot of people expected. So, ton of opportunity. I'll say it like that. I know it's almost like a copium answer at this point, but I don't know. I think that's the candles that we're kind of leading into. Oh, what do we pay $1 billion for? That kind of thing. I think there's a ton more to it than that.
A lot of people do feel that way. They feel like a $600 million green candle could have popped in place, would have been data on the blockchain. $1 billion candle could have popped in place. There's some people who even say like, hey, like these sacks were just diamond transfers. Like that's what I'm learning. I'm like, whoa, this is a diamond transfer. But if you think about it, I talked to Johnny Chaos, and apparently every crypto, every game out there has institutional power that's around 90% ownership, and around 10% is actually community driven. So if that's the game everywhere, like in this ecosystem, we know a lot of the whales. We know a lot of the people here. You guys understand? Like, I'm like, ooh. So we have a chance to really dissect this ecosystem. And I want to look at PulseX. I want to be honest with y'all. First of all, I talked to Sami today. We're in a chat with like LitTank, and we were all expressing ideas. There's a bunch of us in there chatting. And in this chat, we're talking about PulseX. And Sami said, like straight up, me and him agreed PulseX is slow and has no features. And we're like, whoa, what's going on? So let's address it. PulseX
Yeah,
is
man.
slow and has no features. What are we doing? How can I feel cool onboarding onto PulseX when it's like slow and has no features? Why don't we have charts? Why don't we have metrics? Why don't we have like a tab that is the most simple possible interface for a child? That is literally a few buttons. I used to do UX design. Okay. I used to do UX design in a 2-story building. I had a branding operation. It was totally cool. And my brain can see this. If a child goes onto PulseX, I want them to be able to see prices and a token and the liquidity and understand it. Then I want to have a toggle button for advanced users where they can click it and it's like, boom, going to take you like 6 weeks to learn everything. Do you know how cool that would be if we had that feature? Like, wouldn't you like to master that?
Yeah. I mean, to everything you said about features missing, you're totally correct. And to that, I say good. I want that. I want everything to suck at first. I want everyone to doubt it at first. I want it to be the thing that people sell and get out of immediately, where they're like, I paid so much for this nothing product, and then I want it to go to the moon.
What are you talking about, bro?
I'll
Break
explain.
break that down.
Yeah. So what you described as far as the features that you like and all that stuff, it sounds like you're talking about a multi-billion-dollar product, right? Like the things
I
that you're
don't
looking
know.
for. I mean, okay. I said, I'm talking about market cap, not like, it takes that much money to build. Of course not. But like, you're
Yeah.
talking about something that's going to be on CNBC ticker one day. You're talking about something that's like, if it does have the liquidity promise of PulseChain and all the liquidity and everything goes crazy and all the products are there and it has the biggest pulls and most volume, all that stuff. It's on the top 10 or the top 5, top 3 deck screener. You've described a product that has less opportunity than it does today. So for me, I can name you. I promise I can tell you all the features I want in PulseX that aren't there today. I can tell you I try to use it. I used it today. I still use it for liquidity and I still use it for trades and stuff from time to time if the pulls are there, just because like why not? It's there. It still works. I mean, everything works fine. It's just not polished and things suck, of course, in different places. But yeah, typing in a token and it takes like 2 minutes to look in the list of things where the pools and where the token and where the info is, and it gets it wrong half the time. Yeah, that sucks. But again, I say good. I want it to suck at first, and all the weekends get out, and then when Plan Glory happens, when and if we get that lucky for the billionaire genius guy to fulfill his destiny, if we ever get that lucky, it goes to the moon. And everyone be like, oh, but it used to suck. It used to suck. Yeah, it used to suck, and now it didn't. Like that. That's why it's good. And we can go through all the features I wish it has too, if you want. But again, that's the reason. That's the rationale where I have no concerns whatsoever in PulseX.
Can we go through some of the features, like bullet point?
Yeah, man.
You have like an hour here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so in an hour, I don't want to waste a minute. Let's just break it down. What are some of the features you like?
I mean, some of the
like if you had a magic wand, boom.
Yeah, I mean, single side staking is one. That's the one that again, Richards never said it would happen. It was never on the website, but it was on testnet. So single side staking, your ability to do something with PulseX other than do trades and watch it get bought and burned, which again is fantastic and gets totally overlooked half the time. It's almost like an afterthought at this point, the buy and burn. It's like that is an amazing feature and can only get better over time, sort of deal. But it's just like, but it sucks, kind of thing. So anyway, single side staking, limit orders, of course, is like, the kind of the just run the bill. Like, why not? If it's going to be the deluxe decks, it should have all those features too. Although Tetra right now has limit orders, 9inch has limit orders and stuff too. Let's see what else. Just things. I mean, there's pieces on different pieces, not just PulseX, but on Launchpad and different pieces of the services running on PulseChain right now too. The different Beacon Explorer and otherwise that aren't polished. I mean, I'll focus on PulseX. So just pieces that are slow to load. The auto router, that was like a kind of thing that was, half the people say turn it off these days just because it just slows things down a lot. Let's see what else. Just in general, like you said, charts and graphs and all the pretty pieces that people want to go there for, and they don't want to go anywhere else. It doesn't have that. People want to go somewhere else. That's the status today is people want to choose another product. And just use the PulseX tools. Yeah.
What?
But
so
good.
How are you okay with that?
I'm very okay with it. Because I see the long-term vision. I don't need the product that I think is going to be extremely successful in a bull run to have all the bells and whistles when, like, who are we talking to? So with the features, just going through the way I think about it, the reason you have all these amazing features, or you want all these amazing features, of course you want to use them, but the reason everyone else wants them too is because they know it will attract people to come in, use the product, use PulseChain, get them over to your ecosystem. So ideally, just at a base level, of course, anyone can just say, okay, we should have these features because they'll see it and they'll never look back and they'll come to PulseChain. It'll be great. Sure. No one's looking right now. More people are looking than they were 3 weeks ago because Bitcoin ETF and PulseChain green candles and all this stuff. But retail, I don't see anyone aping in over PulseChain NFTs right now. I don't see anyone aping in over all the products we already have in the ecosystem and the ones they're going to be launching too. I don't see retail just going nuts, hand over fist for PulseChain. And then I want PulseX to be amazing. Then I want all the features to be there after the prices already did 100x or something. Then I want it to be amazing. And now they can buy everyone else's bags who wants to X a little bit after that.
You're like basically like keep us in a hoopty so the ride or dies can win, and then we can like jump into the limo so like the bandwagons can jump in. Is that basically what you're saying?
It makes the most sense if you want price to go up the most. If you just want to cash out after 50x,
how does the hoopty make us more money, bro? I don't get it. Tell me.
Well, I mean, one, the people who truly believe and stick in it or buy the lows, they're still going to be here. They're going to be able to accumulate in DCAing on the time up. All the other people are going to go to other ecosystems, and that's the people that are the dead weight anyways, right? For the most part, and they're going to lose some good people too, but that's the trade-off. There's always trade-offs. There's no black and white with this. And again, we get to go down, right? PulseX at one point was like 90-80% down, something like that. That could be, I mean, who knows? I don't have a crystal ball. I don't give financial advice, of course, but that could be the greatest buying opportunity you've ever seen in your life. Like it literally could be buying something that sacked so hard and then went down so much. So that's why I think it's good. That's why this entire bear market, watching my streams in the last year, 2 years, it's like the sadness is it hurts, but I think it's part of the bigger plan. And, everyone can believe what they want to believe, but that's what I think.
So I'm really interested to hear that. Here, let me explain what I'm thinking, because that was almost an antithesis point to what I'm saying. Like I'm coming from, here's my background, like to think tank things and to put it together from a clean business, professional bottom line, no BS. Like we have to understand our market. I want to tell y'all a quick story, and Block, I'll bring you up if you have a specific thing in a minute. I want to tell y'all a story real quick about marketing that I learned. And what it was this list. It was a list of 2 million people. This is like 10 years ago. And someone paid like $1 million for this giant list of people. And it might have even been like 30 million people at the time, their email list. Okay. And they put their blast and they told their whole people, oh my God, once we have this list, we're going to send it out and we are going to crush. So they sent out this mailer to like 30 million people, and they lost like 6 or 8 million subscribers. They unsubscribed from the very first blast they sent out, and everyone like hit the brakes and they're like, oh my God, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? So they brought in a professional data analyst who went through every single person on that list, and they checked their data, their demographic. They found out, hey, they're mostly coming from these states. It's a lot of Bible Belt Christian. There's women who are 30 to 60 years old. There's a lot of men in this age group. There's not a lot of young teenagers here. There's not that many people in the senior citizen category. There's a lot of people in this demographic. There's a lot of people who are searching these things. They freaking took a sniper scope and they actually understood their target market. And then this data analyst brought them all the details, and they punch it back into their system. And their second mailer, they made like $2 million and got an extra 1 million subscribers by understanding their audience. If you don't understand your target market, we're wasting our time and we're not doing clean business. It's like shooting a shot at a girl and she just is totally turned off by you and you don't get the signal and you keep talking. It's like, stop, find the girl who likes you and spit game there. And then she gives you energy and the two of you can do clean relationship. You can have fun with each other. Like, I'm looking for people to give ideas to. They bring input. We have clean business. We can incubate a professional environment. I'm getting offers, RH, bro, like RHMax, bro. Like, I'm getting offers in LitTank to fund it because they see the vision and they know I'm serious. And they're like, whoa, this guy's actually loyal to this ecosystem. He wants to build something. He understands Richard Hart's vision. He's the first PulseChain channel. He went crazy. Mom died, and he couldn't make content, came back. And now he's going crazy again, making content. Like, what is he doing? And it's like, dude, I'm a coach for 20 years. Now I'm in crypto too. So a lot of people, like Johnny Chaos, I had one of the best interviews of my life. And he said, dude, it's like wrestling a polar bear, like trying to shift PulseX and PulseChain and force people to come together in DeFi. What are you doing, bro? It's like wrestling a polar bear. The market will take care of itself. It's built to win. And he told me that, like, it's designed to win.
It is.
And he wanted me to like not stress out. It's like, stop stressing out, Lit. This thing is designed to win. And is that kind of what you're saying? Like, it's designed to win, Lit. Keep it a hoopty and let it like evolve as it comes. Like, is that what you're saying? Kind of the same thing as can you break that down?
Of course, that's part of it. I mean, it is designed. The products are designed to do a lot of amazing things. But just on the analogy that you talked about too, I think a better analogy for at least what's going on here would be if they send out the mail or they send out the new video or whatever, and they send it out during the bear market, for example, when it was some, they're trying to, do some NFT drop or they're trying to do some new crypto or whatever. They send it out during the bear market and gets like, no responses, no hits, no likes, whatever it is. And then they're like, okay. And your analyst guy comes in and he's like, you know what? Let's just wait. Let's wait 8 months. 8 months. Let's let the macros turn around. And they wait 8 months. They do it again. And boom, $1 billion ICO or whatever they're doing or whatever drop. So it becomes that's the more accurate analogy, I would say, for what's happening here. So I think timing of the market is one. The products are designed to do amazing. We already seen Hex. Hex already 10,000 X. There's no questioning the ability of these products and the guy who creates them. And then again, I think it's so important. People don't quite get the piece of getting the dead weight off. Like all the break-even people, they had their chance. They can get the refund. They go to get the refund right now and then some. So it's just opportunity.
Wow. Oh my God. You know, you just made me think of like being at a party back in the day where there's like there's a shakeout in the party. Like there's some real stuff about to happen and they want all the fake fools out of there who will tell and talk.
Yeah.
Like they scatter them out and they're
yelling.
like, yo, they start sniping people, yo, in the back, like they pull them out. And then the other people get segregated. And that's a natural thing leaders do when they're trying to build a plan. And it's time, in my opinion, to do that. And here's why. Let's say you and Johnny are right, and this thing is just built and designed to run, and we just have to chill. Then, what do I like to do? Let's say I'm just chilling. I like to coach for 20 years. I like to think tank. I like marketing. I like branding, and I like design. I chose those fields myself personally. So why wouldn't I be doing that every day? And if I can do that because I like it, and I can connect pieces in this game who are like, I'm a dev, I'm an idea guy, I'm this, I have a channel, I'm an influencer. Bro, what I'm doing is I'm building LitTank to be the funnel. And it's going to these foundations that incubate the ideas and keep us 100% legal. And we're going to rubber stamp projects that come out fully vetted. And it's not my foundation, dude. It's not even mine. It's other people's in the community that I'm putting together. So I want to create the hybrid hexagon, RHMax. I'm like calling it. Like, I don't know if someone else has said this already, so I'm not trying to step on any toes, but I'm just thinking the hybrid hexagon in 2024 to me as a coach is the hexagon who can start his own project or be a part of another project and be proud of it, but wave the Richard Hart flag and know that's why we're here. So if we understand that, that's the hybrid hexagon, dude. Cool. Go do a project you like. PulseChain's a layer 1, DeFi. Can't exclude anyone. It's DeFi. But remember your roots. Remember who got you here. Remember who taught you the game. And that's it. I think like that. I like that. If we have that foundation, that's a hybrid hexagon. And guess what? It'll drive adoption because now people are free to create and not hate on each other. And someone might bring an NFT community that goes viral. Someone might bring a music community that goes viral. Someone might bring other industries. I have a private think tank with real estate guys. I'm bringing in a guy who's worth $60 million and he runs his own think tank. And he's amazing multifamily real estate, guys. You want to know why he's cool? Because it doesn't matter market conditions. He makes money based off ROI. He makes money based off the rental capacity of his buildings because people need a place to live and they're going to put money in every month. So guess what? I'm going to have him on and we might start funneling crypto gains into real estate and diversifying ourselves. And the bull comes and we might be 100% set up in ways we never knew possible because of LitTank. And I'm just the funnel. So this is where the community creates ideas. And I want your help, bro. Like, I'm going to try to do this anyway. I'm going to fight the polar bear and I'm going to end up making friends with him. And we're going to be buddies by the end of this. I'm going to do some shaman stuff on his third eye. We're going to be like at the fire. Like I'll be getting him food. We'll be hanging out, hunting together. Like, and pretty soon, like this thing's going to go viral. Like, I just got a cash flow doctor into my private LitTank. And what a cash flow doctor does is they work with your finances and they can get people out of hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. They can just erase it. And they can do it through all these crazy structures. I'm bringing pros in. It's not PulseChain anymore. It's all industries in the world think tank. And it's only the top people in each industry. So I have a team of devs who wants to rebuild PulseX. Okay? You guys get it? We want to rebuild the front end. And we can even write the code and send it to the PulseChain devs. And I was talking to Salmi and Walrus and a bunch of other people today. Like we were all chatting. Let's do this. So that's kind of my idea, Richard RHMax.
It's hard, man. It's hard. Dexes are hard. Dex aggregators. I mean, that's the thing that's been popping up a lot. Piteous, Tetra, and otherwise. I don't know. Like, what do you feel like you can solve that you don't think will be solved in the next 8 to 12 months as far as the bull run goes? If you know the features come out in time, that kind of thing.
Here's what it is. Great question. My mom passed away. Love you, Mama Awesome. Mama Awesome
Sorry to
would
hear
want
that.
every single. It's okay. It's okay. My mom was a healer for 50 years, and her freaking vision, dude, her legacy would be to live on through her children and to remember the path of the heart. So that was what she chose. Like, she didn't choose wealth. She chose the path of the heart. So she made a lot of weird decisions that didn't make sense, but she chose her heart, and she would want that. So for me, I think of all the people who are in this community who have no idea what they're doing here. They don't understand DeFi. They're totally like wrecked. They brought fiat in. They didn't sack Hex. They're all my fire roasted bought Hex at 44 cents. Okay. She bought Hex at 44 cents. I don't know if I've ever told the community that, but now you know. She brought her money in from the stock market and it bought at 44 cents because like that's what it was, dude. It was going to $1. Everyone knew it. And luckily she sacked around 30, so she only lost a little. But I'm like, I'm in this game every day. Okay, like think about that. Like I take responsibility for that. So, path of the heart is like I gotta make her right. I gotta make my people right. And if the OA comes in, if big money comes in, if the whales stop selling, if the whales put the brakes on their dumping, then the buy wall is protected. And if the buy wall is protected, it can rip. So if that happens, here's my goal. My goal is to grease the track. You know, like I grew up by a railroad track and it would get rusty and like it would get wet and certain areas would have waterlogged areas. And if you didn't drain the water out, the track would get all screwed up and the train would have to go really slow through those areas. And I lived in one of those areas that I got slow by, and you could run and jump on it super easy. So I was just a kid, like, hey, hit the tracks, jump on the train, cruise by the coast. Like I grew up like that, y'all. And I just learned, hey, if they rebuild the tracks and they grease it up all fire, that train can go way faster through here. But when it's all deteriorated and it's run down and it's not operating at its maximum potential, it has to slow down. So I want to grease the track so that when that stuff comes in, this chain is hyped, pumped, ready to go. It's the L1, it's the highway. So PulseChain's the highway. Let's put a fresh coat of asphalt on it. So it's the newest, freshest, hottest road that like the Ferraris can go 200 miles an hour down.
I think just to give you perspective of the last 18 months I've spent, you mentioned like, chilling and stuff and just waiting for, stuff to come out. And I think in one way, just the last 18 months, I've just been creating as much content, promoting the ecosystem just through that. I haven't created my own coin or project or ecosystem. I haven't joined any teams, anything like that. The path I've chosen, at least. And again, nothing against anyone there's plenty of people who have their own coins and projects, and a lot of them are providing a lot of value in the ecosystem as well. But for me personally, even though, I'm sort of a dev and a little bit in different ways, I have websites, I have stuff like that for the community. I think focusing my energy on just promoting the products that I like in the ecosystem. Again, I'm RHMaxi for his ideals. A lot of people, I don't know, I guess I don't talk about that often.
Break it down.
Yeah. So it's for, let me tell this. How about this? It's an interesting story how I came across Richard.
Yeah. Come on, bro. I'm a coach for 20 years. Like my life is awesome is going to become a podcast where I interview multinational people all over the world, and I help this community break far outside of crypto. But my roots are RH PulseChain, and I'm gonna stay loyal because that's who I am. So break it down, bro. Give me your story.
Yeah. So I actually came across Richard over kind of in a disagreement with a friend in a way. I was at a party. And it's funny, like one of the best things that happened to me was running to a friend who was like, hey, have you heard of, we were talking about crypto and he's into Monero and stuff. Hey, have you heard of Richard Hart? He's talking about Ethereum and all the, talking about this and it's got all this attack surface and how it's not going to do well and all this stuff. This is when, he's a BTC Maxi. And it struck me as like, that don't make any sense. Like, I was new to crypto at the time. It's 2017. So I was fairly new to crypto, maybe it's been 6 months or so. And I was like, oh, I want to hear what this guy has to say because it don't make any sense to me. Ethereum seems great. Yeah, there's attack surface with smart contracts, but it's isolated in the contract portion, whatever. Ethereum itself is great though. And I was, of course, bullish and stuff on it. And I started watching this content. I think maybe he gave me a video or something to watch, and I watched that. And I was like, it makes a couple points, but obviously, with a lot of Richard debates, it's kind of like I'm going to make my points really, really strong, and then kind of ignore a lot of the other stuff, even though he's right most of the time, anyways. I disagreed. So I started watching him, went through all the self-help stuff, went through all that. Wow, this guy's a really smart guy. started watching him. Again, this is Bitcoin Maxi Richard. He's still defending it. He's on Max Kaiser. He's debating Roger Ver, talking about Bitcoin stuff. Is like, okay, well, just a good time to learn, I guess. And he really didn't understand Ethereum at the time. He didn't have any reason to, because he was, I guess, rich in Bitcoin. And then he kind of had to when he was going to create his own token, right, with Hex and CFD token before that and all that stuff. So anyways, I came across him via that, and I just got consumed with, oh my God, this guy is like super smart. He's rich. Like, he's all the stuff like I want to be, right? Like, he's extremely smart. He was, I don't know if he's a billionaire at the time. Let's say just multimillionaire, cool, good with ladies, good, all that stuff, super attractive, just as a man too. And then the reason I have so much conviction in him too is this entire time he has never strayed away from his goal, and his goal is glory. He wants to be one of the greatest people on earth, at least in crypto for now. And I've talked about it before. I believe he wants to do all the crypto stuff as a means to an end, to turn it into fund longevity research, save our lives, all that stuff. I did plenty of content. I'm not going to go into it, but I believe that's his mission. And again, RHMax for his ideas. I think longevity is a great thing to work on. I think that delayed gratification, all those values, all the stuff their community holds true is amazing. And his products are just a natural extension of that. And I can see, having followed him so long and seeing him watch every live stream, I think I must be in the top 5 of people who've watched every single bit of content I could ever find on Richard. I understand what he's trying to do in his vision. So even when, again, we have to wait, shake the weekends out, all that stuff, I'm like, yeah, cool. Like, it makes sense. I can fit that into the master plan of whatever he's thinking. And it's not, he's not a god or any of that stuff. I've criticized him plenty of times. I don't agree with everything he does. But oh my God, if you're ever going to bet on a person in crypto, I would never bet against this guy. So that's why I think it's easier for me to look deeper, especially in the depths of the bear market with sadness, despair. Oh, the price went down. Why do we have 1,000x yet? It's easier for me to be like, oh, well, that makes sense. That's just part of the plan. Like whatever's going on is meant for a purpose. And him getting glory is a good thing for the world. So, yeah, I think I was trying to see where I was going with that, to be like so the reason that I think it's so important, and for me at least, to focus on promoting the blue chips, a lot of the important projects I think in the ecosystem and stuff too. I'm not a Hex Maxi. I'll talk about stuff on the show that I think are good for Hex and ecosystem, and PulseChain of course too. But I think my time is best spent promoting, creating content, telling people the story of this guy who I've been following for like 7 years now, and who's given, his products have given me so much. I feel like I need to give back. And for me to give back, I want to do that in a way that is, I can keep my integrity. I can do it where, in a sea of in a community that's turned into a sea of people who are just fighting for, either the community themselves, fighting for Richard, or fighting to get people to look at their own token, or trying to create a platform that they hope will be good for the ecosystem, stuff like that. I like to be that the person that, again, I have other beliefs too. I don't want to monetize. I want to make my money in Hex and PulseChain. I don't monetize my channel. Don't do stuff like that. It's just my personal opinion. Don't care if anyone else does it. It's just what I do to keep me, be untainted by all the other stuff going on. I just think it's better for me to do. Can you afford to live? Yeah, so I'm fortunate enough to, still have plenty of money to live on and not need to do that too. So again, my situation is different. That's why I'm not saying it's for everyone. Like, I want everyone to do whatever's best for their situation. But if I can afford to not monetize and not do, take sponsors and stuff like that, I will. Now, if I ever need to, I don't know, you may never see me again, or I'll just update my worldview. But currently, that's the best thing that works for me. So anyway, I'm trying to wrap that into the thing I think I can have the most utility for in this community is to make sure everyone knows about the greatest product on earth, and Richard's mission and just stuff like that. Because I think, again, after crypto, I think eventually, if he wants to be the greatest man in the world, he's got to go beyond crypto, and shoot for the moons, you'll land the stars, right? Like, worst case, he's able to set up longevity funding, help a lot of people, do a lot of amazing real world stuff, and crypto can just be a means to enter that. I truly believe that. And that's something, if I'm going to sign up for something and spend a lot of my time, energy, blood, sweat, tears, money, again, I lose money. I lose money buying equipment. I just bought a new laptop. Nobody paid for that. I paid for that because I believe in this stuff, and not in a worship way, but just, you got to bet on some horse. Like, I think this is a good horse to bet on.
I've never heard it put that way. And that makes sense with Johnny Chaosis. We did a 5-hour episode. I think 3 hours of it is just incredible alpha. He just broke down everything for me and taught me a lot. And I'm really honored for that. And you just tied perfectly into it. And if we are like on this magic carpet ride, like literally, like it's all the game mechanics are already taken care of. And it's just like you either pass the IQ test and you're here or you don't. And you're not. If it's that simple, I think as a coach,
I believe it's that simple, honestly.
I think I'm still gonna innovate, bro. I think I still want to run a think tank, and I want to bring international industry here, and I want to run clean business, and I think I want to grease the track as best as like I possibly can as a coach. And then I'm gonna look back on my life, and that little piece that was mine, I made it better. And like I'm a piece of PulseChain, and my piece made it better, and I feel awesome about it. Because like when I got here, bro, when I got here, like you touched my heart, because when I got here, my mom was dying and this community was there for me. And like, that's why I'm coming back. So when you gave your story, I was like, oh my God, like me and you are genuinely coming back because Richard Hart like built something that changed our lives, and we're kind of connected with the people here, you know?
Dude, it makes sense psychologically. It makes sense for, you know, a lot of my core values and stuff. And again, anyone building, this is not a knock against, you know, yourself or anyone else building. There's a lot of honorable work to do in this ecosystem, like outside of creating content, outside of, you know, creating platforms or whatever. And there's plenty of tokens that can be created, plenty of just infrastructure that can contribute. You know, Alex Mahedron, there's like, how many projects is that guy doing simultaneously?
He's amazing.
I mean,
I want to get him on the show, by the way. If any of you know Alex, I would love to talk to him about his story and how he basically changed Hex forever, because it was like Hex was the diamond mine and the diamonds were mined, but a lot of them were like locked up in the upper caverns, and people had already like mined them, but they locked them up in this area, and the minerals that fell down and trickled onto these diamonds made them grow larger. So like there was this whole portion of the cave where people had sacked away diamonds that are growing every day. And this guy innovated a way to like make them usable right now. And before they were locked up for 10, 15 years, like he made them liquid. He made them usable now. It's absolutely genius. So if anyone knows Alex, please, I'd love to interview him and bring him in here. This place is for innovation. And
another guy too, a couple of people I respect a lot more than almost anyone in the community, the Maximus guys. Dip Catcher, Gold Key.
Oh, I just DM'd them like today.
If you want to,
DM them today. That's so funny. I just DM'd them today,
dude. If you want to understand the soul of this ecosystem, like Johnny Chaos, I mean, fantastic too. But these guys, they created these products that they didn't. There's no SAC. Again, nothing against SAC phase or nothing like that. I'm just saying it's extra cool when you don't do a SAC. You create amazing products for the sole purpose of making Hex better or PulseChain better or PulseX better, for example. And they got like 10, 12 different tickers, making basically like bonds and stuff for Hex and like all these different tools. And what do they get out of it? They get, if the Hex price appreciates and it goes up, you know, stuff like that. Like they are the epitome of contributing to ecosystem to make it great, giving way more than they take. And that, I think, they're an inspiration to me. They're an inspiration to everyone, man. Like you should definitely talk to them. That the soul of the ecosystem, those guys, Alex, Johnny Chaos, like they represent a piece that almost nobody understands. Nobody wants to understand it. But if you understand it, the pieces really come together.
I can't wait to get them on here. Someone reach out to them. I just reached out to them too. I'd love to all hit them up. But like having you here, I really want to use the time. We have like just under a half an hour left. Can I just throw some ideas at you? Like I want to do a coaching experiment. Okay. You don't change your beliefs. You stay RHMax 100% the way you are. And after this episode, you go right back to your channel, like unscathed, 100% the same way you've always been, authentic. Okay. But during this next 30 minutes, I'm going to put a hat on you. And it's the wizard hat of like freaking magic, shaman, whatever you believe in. You actually feel powerful. And the rest of the world melts away. And you're given a magic wand. And we're going to talk right now between me and you in a place that's safe, where like the devs can build it. It's fully funded. The foundations behind us can vet it, and they can put it to a stage where it's a launch pad and it has the stamp of approval. And then you're going to get contacted. Coffee's going to get contacted. Maddie's going to get contacted. Discourse Syndicate, all of us. we're all going to get contacted and have the option to check these projects out that have gone through 15 to 20 steps of verification to make sure they're as mitigated from a rug as possible. And then I would absolutely love to launch those projects. So I have devs lining up to rebuild their own stuff. And I realize, hey, if you have a project, bring it here. But I need to find who actually wants to pump PulseChain and be here long term. And they're not just like the other way. So that's my goal. And while I have you here and you have this special hat on, let's just pretend that like we have made friends with the polar bear and we don't need to like fight him anymore. And he sat down and he's like, all right, Lit and Richard Hart Maximalist, you guys have like proven yourself and I'm going to talk to you. And we say, okay, now from the top of the mountain where no one else can hear us and all the devs are below ready to build and all the money in the world is ready to implement it, what do? Can we create a bot that scrapes Ethereum yield and bridges it over to PulseChain in a pool that burns PulseX? Can we do that? Can we do that? Can we cross bridge scraper? Do we have a dev in the community who can build a bot to scrape yield perpetually from different arbings of different bridges and put it in a pool that's locked? No one can rug it. And it's released on a schedule to burn PulseX. Can we do that?
There's a product, Tetra, that one of the few products I pay attention to the ecosystem that basically automates all these different strategies like arbitrage that does kind of what you're saying. I don't know if it'll work cross-chain. I'm not sure if they'll have that feature upon launch. It's TBD launch. But they have Omnis. They're from Omnis. They have the Omnis. They have limit orders and stuff like that on PulseChain right now. But the next step is like having that DeFi automation where you can, Tetra, Stu and Neil and all the guys.
I introduced them to the community, bro.
Yeah. So the strategy.
Tell me where they're at, because I went away. I had to deal with all types of stuff. I'm back here, like streaming every night. I'm here long term. They're here. We're gonna do this. Let's go.
They built the DEX They built the DEX aggregator that has limit orders that a lot of people are using on PulseChain right now that I like using as well. That's the first product. Well, I mean, so the first piece is the DEX aggregator where you can do limit orders and they'll have like compound limit orders and stuff, different advanced stuff. The second piece is the DeFi automation piece. So where you can deploy strategies to do what you're talking about, where you can do ARB opportunities of however, like whatever pieces you want, different trades or different yield opportunities, or automatically roll your farming yield into different stuff. You do all that with Tetra. I don't know if it'll be cross-chain, but you can do it on PulseChain. I
want it first. Let's master PulseChain, but honestly, like I almost first want to master cross-chain. What are we doing? What are we doing? Stop harveying our own gains from our own people. Let's get some ETH yield in here. Let's get some BSC yield in here. What are we doing? Let's think bigger. Come on, y'all. Stop being so simpleton. Grow your minds. If the OA is going to pump it, if the whales are going to pump it, it's going to pump. Let's grease the track. Let's get everything built and dialed in as best we can. Like, let's get these bots going. Let's get a pool. And I had another idea. Like, what if we could get one of those bots going and every single influencer here got a cut who met certain requirements that was like creating content, putting stuff out, had certain hashtags. We could get people. I'm putting an artist together. I have an artist with 2 million subscribers, 1.7. And he does this incredible artwork with music behind it. He can create intros. He can help us in our videos. If you have alpha that you want to like regenerate in the coolest way possible, he can have his artists make a video. Might be 30 seconds, might be 10 minutes. Like, you get it? We can make this community the greatest DeFi ecosystem on the planet. That's my vision. I want to double the burn of PulseX, and I want to make PulseChain the greatest DeFi ecosystem on the planet. And it might take years, but guess what? If we focus, we can. And we're always going to be a fork of Ethereum. You understand? But guess what? What if the fork of Ethereum brings the best innovation ever? And it's on the same technology. Like, we can still use the same highway and have the most badass cars that they don't even have over there. Like, we can innovate new cars they don't have over there. You guys get that? And then they'll be catching up to us. Oh my God, what are these PulseChain guys doing? So how do you feel about that? How do you feel about like building something like Tetra or something? Or what if we could use something we already have built, bro? Is there something that's already there?
So there's two pieces that I think could be interesting in this. So one is the Tetra automation piece. So that's coming. I'm no doubt about that this year, hopefully in the spring sometime. The other piece is Alex, Alex from Hedron. He's building, so Hedron V2 is going to have this cross-chain deal where you can use Hedron on both chains and staking and all that stuff too. So there will be new code coming up this year, I imagine, from Hedron V2 that has a cross-chain piece that I've even speculated in the future. I'm like, if Richard ever does a Hex V2, it would be pretty cool if Hex V2 made Ethereum Hex and PulseChain Hex interoperable across chains. So we don't have to worry about the P Hex, E Hex stuff anymore.
Say that again. That was so rad. Say that again. First time I've heard that.
About the Hex V2?
Yeah, about the Hex V2 being interoperable between two chains. What? That sounds badass.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, if there ever was a Hex, I'm not saying there ever will be, but if there ever was, and Alex's code for doing Hedron cross-chain works out well, other projects could apply that if they want to upgrade their token or whatever and make it interoperable. You can stake on both chains. That would be like the coolest. That'd be the only reason I would ever see for Hex V2 is if that code works so well, it got super battle tested, and then we get Hex V2 from Richard. He's like, yep, you get to claim your free new Hex token, and you can use Hex on both chains and stuff like that. That's coming. I mean, that code is coming. That's what Alex is working on right now. So this year we'll have code like that.
A unified front end for both ones. You click and it just goes click, click, boom.
So for Hedron, you'll be able to use both eHedron and pHedron in the auctions, and you'll be able to stake eHedron on PulseChain and pHedron on Ethereum, from what I understand so far. We don't have all the details yet, but interoperability between them. So none of this like, oh, I got eHex, or ePHedron, I got to bridge it over, all that stuff. So if that code works well and it's battle tested, all that stuff, I imagine other projects could use that, and with the whole E tokens and P tokens situation that creates all this frustration and people take one side and all this stuff, that could go away if we have the technology to do cross-chain stuff, which I don't know why we wouldn't this year. So that's super exciting. And so you combine that with Tetra's automation tools. Who knows? Maybe Tetra adopts something like that, and you're like, okay, you want to ARB stuff on Ethereum from PulseChain? You can do it. That would be pretty sweet.
Yes, that's exactly what I want. What are inscriptions? Didn't Goldkey? Wasn't he talking all about inscriptions? Is that the ordinals from Bitcoin or something? What is that?
I don't know much about inscriptions.
We'll get him on here, but I'm trying to take these projects, concepts, ideas. Let's not be stupid. We're already a fork of Ethereum, so we have to look out there at what's killing it. I want to know protocols in the chat. I want you to hit me in a DM. What are the best running protocols in crypto that actually work, and can they be put on PulseChain? Can they be run through PulseX to double the burn? Can they be implemented to our ecosystem? Can you have like a community founder who has his own community and he's crushing it, but he's also waving the RH flag, helping PulseChain? That's what I want to find. So that's my vision. And I think we can do it. I think I can personally, I want to personally take on doubling the burn of PulseX. Why? Because my whole family got into this thing. My mom died going into this thing. You know what I mean? Like, my mom died before PulseX, but everyone I know got into this so hard. My channel was the first PulseChain channel, and I was like a tidal wave, like this huge first tidal wave of PulseChain. And I just made videos every single day, all crazy, just like 30 to 45-minute monologues only about PulseChain. One take. What? I was like channeling this passion because I felt like this was the greatest thing possible. I saw the vision. And I felt like this was the future. And if people could get in early, they could take care of the people that they love and become a hero to their family, to their kids, to those freaking people that they want to take care of and they didn't have the money to. And now they do. That was why I was so passionate as a coach and got into crypto, dude. Here. That's why. So now I'm here, bro. And I don't want to sit passively by. I want to freaking grease the track and help.
I think that's why we're here, man. We're here to better our lives, better our family, be a force for good in the world, as Richard said a million times. You can do a lot of things with money. Money is not everything, but boy, can it amplify you? Can you whatever it does? I believe it. Whatever happened, however you take a poor person, you make them rich. Whatever values and things they want to do, you just amplify it. So if they're not a very good person, they're not going to do very good things. If they're a good person, they can do a lot of good in the world, depending on whatever their ideals and stuff are. So that's why we're all here, man. It's like maybe Godwell's here to just hang out for 15 years, being staked, mostly staked, and just enjoying his paper money. Like, God bless him, and shout out to him always, the Chad of Chad.
Shout out to Godwell, the Genesis ETH whale. Shout out to the Genesis ETH whale who has 300,000 Genesis ETH, right? Is that it?
That sounds about right.
Speaking of 300,000, I need to share my screen real quick, you guys. We have a special announcement in the community. This is just absolutely insanity. All right,
BitBoy, go all in.
This is insanity. I'm going to play this real quick. Can you guys tell me if you can hear this?
Google it, bitch. Let's go look it up. Let's go. Go look up your thickest Ethereum book. Go look up your thickest Ethereum book. Go look up your thickest Ethereum book. Guy that thinks he's smart. You're not smart. You don't know shit about shit.
I'm sorry. I think I have a picture in a picture setting. So can you share that? Can you share that video?
You want to send me the link in the private chat?
Okay. While I do that, can you please give me any idea, even if you won't, just throw it mud on the wall? Tell me how we double the burn of PulseX, just creatively. Any idea?
I was wondering how. I was going to ask you what your ideal for that was. Doubling the burn of PulseX. I mean, a lot of volume. I mean, when you say doubling the burn, do you mean like make it burn faster or make it burn more percentage?
I'm talking. How about every single DEX on PulseChain commits 10% of their volume and routes it through PulseChain, or 1% or 5%? How about they do that? And like they just route it through PulseChain. Is that stupid?
Well, if I think the more DEXs and the less PulseChain pools they are, like we're in a city, so we're gonna need plenty of different liquidity. PulseX is UniV2. We're gonna need UniV3. We're gonna need all kinds of different DEXs. However, the more DEXs we have, I mean, the more people who aren't using PulseX pools, the less burn that's going to happen. So
explain that.
Well, so if you're not using the PulseX pools, the burn's not happening, because that's the whole thing. Is the whole idea of PulseX is like, okay, we have this amazing DEX. It's the premier DEX. It has all liquidity, millions and billions of dollars. It's got most liquidity. And if people are using it for trades or using some product that uses it for trades, it's going to be burning the PulseX. So if it shifts to a different DEX or different pools or whatever, everything that shifts it away from using PulseX pools is making PulseX less valuable in a way, because less of it's getting burned, less volume. So, for example, if you want to increase the burning of PulseX, I mean, of course, at a lower price, the lower the price, the more the volume, the more that gets burned. I believe that's the math on it too. So, but even if it goes up in price, the more volume, you could kind of like keep up with it. So the key of everything is more volume, more burning, more deflation for PulseX makes token valuable. Brings people in, and who are the holders of it, rewards them, hopefully, when the market figures that out. And Ink's another thing that's like, I think, key to the ecosystem. You want people to do yield farming, because the more trading, the more yield farming stuff, the more valuable Ink's going to be.
Are DAOs legal?
Are DAOs legal?
Are DAOs legal? Like, I'm getting a lawyer for my private think tank, and my private think tank is 100% for PulseChain. I hope you guys know that. I'm not like trying to vampire the community. Like, no, I'm trying to help this freaking chain. You know how many haters there were for Richard Hart when I got here and I got into PulseChain? And then like, yeah, he went crazy and said a bunch of stuff. And a lot of it, I was like, come on, bro. But like, I didn't understand the 5D chess game. I don't think any of us did. Maybe some people did, but I see it now. I'm starting to see it. I'm genuinely starting to see it. I think that the way the mathematic works, the way the hex diamond mind works, it was such a brilliant transfer, and it set up the right people at the top in a way where like everyone who's afraid of perma dumping, it's not going to happen. It's going to happen, but it's not going to happen permanently. It's not just permanent dump. It's going to be dumpage. You're going to see the buy wall destroyed many times. You're going to see it pump up and tank, and you're going to say, oh, another 5 billion. Oh, another 10 billion. Oh, they just unloaded 15 billion pulse, those jerks. And that's going to happen. But I do have a feeling that this thing is designed to ratchet. And when it like tightens the liquidity and it ratchets and gets buying power, like I'm pretty sure the way I understand the system is it just works on its own. So
I mean, people dump until they have a reason to hold. So like green candles may give them a reason to hold. New features may give them a reason to hold. Other people saying they're going to buy, influencers otherwise, give them a reason to hold. So the dumping will continue until they have a good enough reason. The majority of people or the majority of whales, whoever's affecting the price as much, have a good reason to hold. So that's like holding out for that is what we've been doing for a while.
Okay, so let's see a quick comment. It says, RHMax, are there any enterprise level Windows shell installer type program that is like an easy button for ETH devs to change front ends to work with PulseChain?
Yeah, I answered this in chat. I'm not sure. There are different installers for different types of programs, Python installers and Visual Basic, and just different types that take EXEs and make them into an installable program to put them in your program files folder and all that. For ETH devs, change from, I don't know what the correlation is between installer program and front ends, because one is a desktop application and one is a web application. So I'm not sure, unless you're talking about Node.js running your local server stuff. I'm just not sure.
What if there's a way to make AI code for us so it can like transfer? Maybe he's asking all the people who've built on ETH, is there a way to transfer their work to PulseChain so they don't have to redo it all and it's super easy? Is that what he's like? That's an interesting idea.
If I just read the last part, is there an easy button for ETH devs to change front ends to work with PulseChain? I mean, the easy button would be, the easy button would be, do you have infrastructure? Yeah, if you're going to use the blockchain, I mean, you just change the RPC at a basic level. You change it to rpc.pulsechain.com instead of whatever Ethereum one you're using. And then the infrastructure really doesn't need to change if it's just in the cloud and stuff. So I don't know. Like, I think it's specific to each project, but I don't think it'd be that hard. We haven't given anyone a reason to do it. All right. Like, why would Decentraland, for example, that was like a big thing we talked about a long time ago. Like, why, it's so expensive to do all the ETH fees and play all the games and do all that stuff. Why not will they just make their interface? Do you want to choose drop down box? You want to use Ethereum or use PulseChain? Cheaper, faster, or slower, more expensive? And maybe it is just an RPC thing and they have to reconfigure some of their program, but I don't think it's that hard. We just haven't given a reason to do it. They don't see green candles. They don't believe in PulseChain. They don't know if it's going to exist for a long time. They don't have any, desire to do it. They don't have any benefit. We haven't given them a reason to make it, like the way Alex Hormozy. You know Alex Hormozy? Yeah, dude, you gotta look him up. I think you'd like him a lot. Alex Hormozy.
Please send me the link. I love learning. If y'all in the chat ever want to teach me about crypto, jump on here. Let's go.
So one of his famous phrases is, make them an offer that'd be stupid to refuse. Like, make them an offer so good they'd be like, no, I have to do it. This is totally in benefit of me. We haven't given anyone that offer for PulseChain other than the true believers who came from Hex and saw what it did, and we think it's going to do a greatness for this ecosystem. So that's something we need to come up with. And I think, again, BitBoy's on board now. Apparently, all these people, if we can broadcast the message to more people at scale, get rid of all the FUD, get rid of all the stuff that all the haters that have their opinions that don't really matter in the factor of price and community. Get rid of all that stuff and say, look at the code, look at the ecosystem, look how cheap it is. If we could just focus on that, I mean, the sky's the limit for as far as people changing and coming to PulseChain.
I think my channel is like not even 8,000 subscribers because I quit making content when I was like around that level. And like the community grew a lot since I've been here. So I'm coming back and I'd like to like reboost up my channel, but I want my channel to be like helping the community as a whole, as a coach, because that makes me have more fun. I have more fun that way, dude. So like if we can facilitate, I'm now the funnel. LitTank is the funnel where community makes these ideas and meets the devs. The devs build it. It goes through incubation. It gets forged and it comes out for us influencers. And if we create this closed circuit loop, people are going to understand, whoa, they figured something awesome out. They mitigated a lot of risk. And these projects it's still the most volatile asset on the planet. If you look at the volatility index, it's like crypto, OTC, regular stocks, and mutual investment funds, ETFs, and real estate. It's like we're in the most volatile sector on the planet. You can moon run super hard and ratchet gains, or you can tank and they could pull the liquidity and you could be left with no sell button, just rugged, just no money, just totally wrecked. So like that can happen in so quick in this game. So like it's so scary. It's the wild west of DeFi. How do we bring people here into the wild west? You make it as simple as possible. I think you just make it as simple as possible.
That's why I made Go Real DeFi. Have you been to the website?
No, share it. What is that?
Yeah, GoRealDeFi.com. I mean, Somi talks about it a lot. Coffee uses it and stuff too.
Let me pull it up and share the screen. Tell me it again.
Go Real DeFi.
Okay, let me screen share this real quick.
I mean, that was my motivation for creating the website. Is like, man, after everything went super decentralized, it was a lot of confusion. A lot of people don't know what link to click, all that stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I can make this a lot easier.
Can you walk me through this?
Click one, man. Click. You want to go to Hex app? Click Hex. It'll open up a text tab for the official app. I don't know if you're not showing. You're still showing the main page right now, but yeah, imagine you see that.
Yeah. Do you have to connect a wallet to like make it all?
So all this is a gateway, a verifiable gateway.
Hex, Bridge, Launchpad.
These are all just gateway. They're all just links to the official apps, but they give people a one single click instead of, go to hex.com. It's like, hey, download the app, download the exe and run it, or click this link, go to this IPFS stuff. This just makes the onboarding as seamless as possible. So like there's no confusing links, there's no IPFS stuff that you have to understand. It all uses the official apps, but it just gives it a very pretty picture and an easy way to click on stuff.
When it just went straight to PulseX. What's the Launchpad?
Launchpad goes to validator stuff.
Oh my goodness, dude. Thank you so much for sharing that. I would love you built all that?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, this is fantastic.
Thank you.
I didn't even know you did this stuff, bro. You got to get on here. What are you doing?
It's become pretty popular. I get quite a few visitors per day on it, from what I can tell.
Dude, okay. Look, you have like 3 minutes before you're gonna leave, and I have another guest I'm gonna bring up. But like, can I ask for your help on a personal project for the community that we're doing in like a week or two?
What's going on?
I have an artist, and he is animating live on LitTank with his artists, and our chat is going to tell him we're submitting all of our ideas how to make this the quickest, fastest, cleanest onboard video from animation possible for Hex, Pulse, PulseX, and we're starting with those 3 RH coins. And we want the whole community to like think, if you were new, what would you want to see in like 8 seconds or 10 or 30 seconds? Like I want it as short as possible, 30 seconds, like max. You know what I mean? Maybe we have a 2-minute one for like at the very end, but I want it to just be boom, like real quick.
I have everything that I think is the best links. You see that learn to earn on the side there on the website? Learn to earn.
No. Show me learn to earn. Where
see
am
it?
I?
You see it down there? It says learn to earn Hex, PulseChain, PulseX, all the way to the right hand side.
Right hand side. Is it up?
Yeah. Down a little bit.
Learn to earn
now. Learn to earn.
Yes.
Yeah. So those 3 links are the best links in my opinion. There's a lot of good links, but those are the 3 that I put on the website. If you want to learn how to earn with Hex, PulseChain, PulseX, those 3 links will take you to the best resources I know of for each product.
What did you do? Did you make a playlist?
Yeah, I did produce the playlist of all those videos for PulseChain onboarding. Yeah.
Did you make all of these videos?
Well, I produced them. So some of them I made through clips and otherwise, and some of them I had produced.
Bro, 3 days ago, you're updating regularly.
Yeah, when I make new videos or otherwise, I put them in the playlist. Like everything you want to do in PulseChain, I think is in that playlist. If there's something missing, let me know. But I think everything for basics wise, you want to do.
I am absolutely loving this. I had no idea that you did that. Will you work with me on this project And yeah, before you go, I want to just watch this real quick. And it's just a 53-second clip. Hopefully it works this time. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna play it. Tell me if you can hear it.
Just wrote a white paper.
Motherfucker, you can Google it.
Can you hear
Let's
it?
go look it up. Ready? Let's
Mhm.
go. Look up your thickest Ethereum book. Go look up your thickest Ethereum book. Go look up your thickest Ethereum book. Guy that thinks he's smart. You're not smart. You don't know shit about shit. Go find me a thick order book for Ethereum on a clob. Let's go find it, right? So I'm going to go to uniswap.info, and you're going to go to your fucking clob, and we're going to go see what a 10% slippage order does and how many we can get fucking filled. Because you don't know shit about shit, bro. You know nothing. You don't know how automated market makers work. You don't know how price discovery works.
You don't know how price discovery works. You need limit orders, matching market orders. This has been studied for.
You have that in Uniswap now, you dumb fuck.
Okay,
when did that start? Uniswap.
When did that
start? There.
When
you can place a limit order in Uniswap.
Yeah.
Classic Richard.
On stream. Okay. I will teach you how to use DeFi on stream right now. If you're smart enough to fucking learn.
Get him, Dad. Get him.
Motherfucker, you can Google it, bitch. Let's go look it up. Ready? Let's go. Go look up your thickest Ethereum. Look up your thickest Ethereum. Go look up your thickest Ethereum book. Guy that thinks he's smart. You're not smart. You don't know shit about shit. Go find me a thick order book for Ethereum on a clob. Let's go find it, right? So I'm going to go to uniswap.info.
I hope this guy's a Hexkin now. I mean, again, I don't want to hurt him. I'd rather convert him, but boy,
and how many
we had a hard lesson on this one.
Because you don't know shit about shit, bro. You know nothing. You don't know how automated market makers work. You don't know how price discovery works.
You don't know how price discovery works. You need limit orders, matching market orders. This has been studied for.
You have.
Maybe you're muted. You're muted. Still muted.
Hey, I thought that was the clip with the 300,000 Bitcoin. Do you have that?
Oh, actually,
share that. I thought that's what I was sharing.
Well, I don't have it in front of me, but I was going to say on that, I think he was saying 300,000 Bitcoin were free claimed through Hex. I think a lot of people took that as he has 300,000 Bitcoin, which he may, I don't know. But I think I saw someone talking about that he may have been talking about 300,000 Bitcoin has been claimed for Hex. Just FYI, I'm not sure though.
I want to find out because I had a theory, bro. Before you go, I had a theory like a while back that I said, does RH have enough Bitcoin to like call the top and make the top?
Dude, I think a lot of people are sleeping on how rich this guy is and how whatever he wants to happen can happen. Like it literally, I don't think people understand how rich people are, like how rich and what they can do. So it's a very underrated thing.
Thank you for being here, RHMax.